Hey everyone, this is episode 18 of Healthy Kids, Simple Solutions. I'm Dr. Steven Stin out in Elkhorn, and what we're talking about this evening is behavioral issues in kids. And it's something that's pretty common, something I see a lot of in the practice. And I'm going to be going over the one thing that I really am looking for in these kids that present with behavioral issues and have a lot of behavioral problems in school or at home. So what I usually do is I check for you. If you follow my stuff at all, you know that I check a lot on infant reflexes, and you have this reflex as an infant that's called the Moro Reflex. And if you ever see a baby and you're holding them and you tip them down suddenly, what you'll see is their arms fly out and they'll take a deep breath in and they'll kind of shake a little bit and then they'll start crying. So what that is it's a Moro reflex, and it should integrate and it should go away by about 4 to 6 months of age. But actually what happens with a lot of these kids that have behavioral issues is they never got rid of that reflex like they should have. So normal development's happening at 4 to 6 months. That Moro reflex should go away. For whatever reason, it didn't in a lot of these kids, and then they hold on to it. So what that means is their nerve system is constantly getting startled. So if a kid suddenly comes in and out of their vision really fast, or a kid kind of shrieks down the hallway in school, or books slam on the desk, or a locker closes, or a door slams, all these things are going to be eliciting that startle reflex in this kid. So that Moro reflex is always going to be sending a stress signal to the brain, this startle response, and what the body's going to do is it's going to send out a bunch of cortisol and a bunch of stress hormones. So what you're doing is the kid's constantly getting startled. So I always say, if you picture yourself walking around all day and someone's only purpose was to try to scare you all day. So every time you turn a corner, they're jumping out and they're trying to scare you, or they're clapping behind you, or they're doing things that are trying to get you agitated and startled. That's essentially what these kids have all the time. So they're walking around with this startle reflex that's always going off, and it's constantly going off all day throughout school, all day, at home. And if that happens, if you picture yourself always getting startled, you're probably going to lash out yourself. You can kind of have empathy and think, okay, this kid has this Moro reflex. It's constantly getting elicited. They're always getting they're getting, the startle response. Eventually, something's going to snap. They're probably going to break. They're going to have an outburst. They're going to have a hard time regulating their emotions, because when you are always dumping this cortisol out and you're getting in this fight or flight response, and you're in this gas pedal elevated state and it's all going up here, and then eventually something's got to give, and usually that's where you see the behavioral issues in them. So what we do is we want to look and see if they have this primitive reflex. We'll check for this Moro along with a bunch of other ones that contribute to a ton of different school-related issues. But specifically for these kids, I look for that Moro reflex. So that's the gist of what I'm going to be talking about tonight. If you guys find any, if you have found any interest, or if you like this page or you find value in it, I would love if you guys could like and share or comment on this so that it can spread to more parents that like this. And also, I have an offer that I've decided to do, since many people watch these Facebook Lives and a lot of parents get a lot of good tips from it. I decided that anyone that mentions that, when they call the office and mention that they've seen the Facebook Live, will get $50 off of that initial evaluation. And what that initial evaluation is you obviously call the office, you set up that initial evaluation, and then we go over all the infant reflexes and make sure that they're all integrated and see which ones they still have. And then we look for nerve system testing, which is going to tell us how far into that gas pedal your child is, and how far into that fight or flight state they are. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. That is episode 18 of Healthy Kids, Simple Solutions. Like, comment, share if you found any value with it, and tell another parent about it. And I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 19. See you guys then.